coming up on Network Africa. International Criminal Court asks India to arrest Sudan President Omar al-Bashir when he arrives New Delhi for the India-Africa Summit on Wednesday. Congo backs President Sassou Nguesso's third-term bid in Sunday's controversial referendum. And the IMF predicts gloomy economic outlook for sub-Saharan Africa in its recent report. Hello and welcome to Network Africa. I am Adeshawa Josh. He is still a wanted man, and the International Criminal Court is indeed still hunting for the man they accuse as the mastermind of genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes during his campaign to crush a revolt in Sudan's western Darfur region. The ICC urgently wants Sudan President Omar al-Bashir brought to justice, and in its latest effort to ensure this, is asking India to arrest and hand over al-Bashir when he visits New Delhi for a summit this week. Along with at least 40 other African leaders, the 71-year-old president is expected to arrive in New Delhi on Wednesday, October the 28th, to attend an India-Africa summit aimed at boosting trade and investment between the two regions. Although India is not an ICC signatory, New Delhi is expected to act on a UN Security Council resolution which had lifted Bashir's immunity under international law and urged all states to fully cooperate with the ICC. It is generally believed that by arresting and surrendering ICC suspects, India can contribute to the important goal of ending impunity for the world's worst crimes. But will India arrest al-Bashir? We can only wait and see. There will indeed be a third-term opportunity for 71-year-old President Denis Sassou Nguesso of the Republic of Congo if the result of Sunday's referendum is anything to go by. More than 92% of the voters in Congo-Brazzaville's controversial referendum approved constitutional changes to allow President Nguesso run again for office. The Electoral Commission says that more than 1.2 million people voted in favor of the change. That's about 92.3% of the voters that turned out on Sunday, while nearly 102,000 rejected it. Under the current constitution, the president has been unable to seek re-election because he is over the age of 70 and has already served 2 terms. In the meantime, the opposition is asking for the vote to be annulled in view of a low turnout of voters. Well, call him a big brain, and you may not be wrong. 17-year-old Nigerian-born Harold Eke is making big gains in the world of education as he gains admission to the 8 Ivy League universities he applied to. Nigerian students are indeed making big gains in the world of education and gathering global interest from educational institutions. Our correspondent, Karen Chambers, reports from London.
The prestigious Claridge's Hotel, London.
And I'm going to talk about global education.
A gathering hosted by avant-garde academia and asset education advisors, providing services for the growing niche market of Nigerian parents with aspirations for their children to gain admission into Ivy League universities in the United States.
More students are studying internationally than ever before. And the demand gap for quality and elite education is growing exponentially. More people want top education because education is a differentiator.
Bismarck Rawani has built a stellar career in business, held top positions at global companies, and is a passionate advocate for opening elite educational doors for the Nigerian diaspora.
The American universities have the money to buy the talent, and therefore, over the years, they've outperformed other countries. Now, 19% of total foreign students going to school outside their country go to school in the United States. That wasn't the case 20 years ago.
With such tough competition, why are Nigerian parents sidestepping UK institutions such as Oxford and Cambridge in favour of institutions thousands of miles away in the United States?
The difference, a big difference between American and UK universities are that the UK universities, they care mainly about your academic results and what you've done in relation to the subject that you're going to study. What are your leadership abilities like? Are you going to be a future leader in your community? And evidence of that often starts early.
From Princeton to Yale, Harvard, Cornell and Columbia, it's a fiercely competitive race to gain entry.
If you look at the demographics, even within the UK alone, Nigeria accounts for at least the third largest intakes in terms of universities behind only China and India, making sure that our youngsters attend the Ivy League schools and the top schools. Therefore, you can have the next batch of lawyers, the next batch of doctors, the next batch of bankers.
If you want your child to gain admission at a top US university, then the preparations start from as young as age 13.
I have 4 of them. I have 3 boys and a girl. And I'm interested, it'd be nice to have all 4 of them go to an Ivy League university in America. I think education there is so diverse. It's so complete.
So I guess both the UK and US system appeal to me, but I would just like to be open to both options.
Acceptance rates into the Ivy League are fierce, with Harvard at 5.3%, Princeton at 7.9%, Yale at 6.8%, and Stanford at 5%.
First and foremost, it's priceless. You cannot exchange that for anything else. If anybody was to come and say, I'll give you $10 million so that your kid doesn't go to Harvard and has to end up somewhere else, you wouldn't accept it. No, it's priceless. So in terms of utility, you get the best.
Bill and Hillary Clinton, Michelle and Barack Obama are just some of the world's most influential people with an Ivy League education. Who knows, if all goes to plan for these young people, they could be the global economic powerhouses of the future. Karen Chambers, Channels Television News, London.
Let's take a short break on Network Africa, and when we come back. South African left-wing opposition state protest against the financial sector as they demand accountability from the Johannesburg Stock Exchange.